We've been renting our homes from the government for way too long. We've been evicting people out of their houses because they can't keep up with the tax increases, and now you've got this extreme measure.
While 135 people died in the Texas floods, including 27 minors at a summer camp, counties are using events like this to collect more from taxpayers. Harris County, $268 million recently.
County leaders passed a new budget and a new property tax hike.
I'm in favor. Motion carries 4-1.
That is the moment commissioners approved an 8% property tax hike. The county usually has to put any tax hikes above 3.5% before voters. But state law allows an exception if there's been a declared disaster.
I didn't believe it myself, but it's legal, it's quiet, and your county might be next. I'll show you exactly how it works.
Property taxes are expense to people, and the young people that were talking about it, any slight raise of taxes means housing costs us more.
This is verified, documented theft, and most Texans have no idea it's happening.
We about to get priced out. Being a homeowner and a business owner has always been the American dream, but these taxes make it the American nightmare.
Be sticking this kind of tax increase on top of people is unconscionable, and somebody ought to pay the price for doing this.
You'll find all of the receipts linked below in the pinned comment, because right now, while families are still grieving and communities like Camp Mystic are mourning unimaginable losses, local governments are using those very disasters to jack up your property taxes without your vote. And they're doing it legally, thanks to a loophole in Texas Tax Code 26.042 that lets counties bypass the normal 3.5% tax cap and spike it up to 8% just by declaring a disaster. Sound extreme? Well, let me show you how this scam already pulled $268 million out of Harris County last year, and how it's setting up Kerr County, and probably yours, to do the same. Back on July 4th, 2025, floods tore through the Texas Hill Country, killing over 130 people. AccuWeather and multiple outlets put economic losses at $18 to $22 billion. In Kerr County alone, over $240 million in property value vanished. Tragic? Absolutely. But within days of the disaster declaration, county officials began talking tax increases.
Last night, City Council voted to allow the tax assessor to calculate how much a hike could help in recovering from the flood. County commissioners approved the same resolution last week.
They hadn't raised rates in 5 years, but suddenly, disaster relief opened the door to an 8% hike. And get this, they don't need voter approval, because buried in the tax code is a disaster clause that lets them override the cap and hit your home hard. And this isn't just Kerr County. Harris County used this exact same loophole after Hurricane Beryl in 2024, just last year, to quietly raise taxes and pull in $268 million more without holding a public vote. Commissioner Tom Ramsey even admitted, "We funded everything we needed, but now they want $268 million more?" This isn't a revenue issue. It's a spending problem. And I know what some people are thinking. Hey, Matt, it's just a one-time disaster hike. It'll go back down. Except it doesn't. It resets the floor. And they never lower it. Ever. And while this is happening, politicians in Austin are celebrating the biggest property tax relief package in state history.
25%, a quarter of the Texas state budget is using money to return to you through tax cuts. No state in the history of America has devoted such a large percentage of their budget to tax relief in the United States of America.
You probably heard about it. They're proposing to raise the homestead exemption to $140,000 or $200,000 if you're over 65, pending voter approval this November. Sounds good, right? Except it's not real relief, because while the state cuts rates, local governments raise them. So you end up saving $400 on one side and paying $600 more on the other. It's a shell game.
Here are the numbers. They raised the county rate by 10%. Flood control rate, which was approved by voters, went up 58%, but that's a small number. The port went up by 7%, and the hospital district went up by 14%. When you add up those four entities, the tax rate went up by 14%. Now, that's just one number. You've then got to take how much your house went up. Average house went up in Harris County last year by 4%. You multiply 14 times 4 times the value, and that's what you end up. It's called compounding. So most people will see about a 15% increase in their tax.
Under a recent law, counties must verify your homestead exemption at least once every 5 years, which means many could lose theirs if they don't respond.
And this year, we got our tax bill, and we went from like a $6,000 or $7,000 bill when we first moved into here to over $12,000. And the first thing I look on the statement, the exemptions was blank. So you should have that homestead exemption.
That's what happened with homeowner Mike Bryson.
Trying to do some research, it disappeared somehow, and the county said you have to reapply. Of course, you have to pay the bill as is, and then it could take 3 to 4 months to get approved for your homestead exemption.
That's not an accident. That's a system designed to claw back anything that looks like a benefit. And the deeper you go, the uglier it gets. There are private tax protest firms exploiting desperate homeowners. There's a sovereign wealth fund that guarantees school district bonds backed by property tax revenue. And there's mounting evidence that appraisal values in places like Travis County are being inflated, even during market downturns, to keep revenue flowing. Travis CAD processed over 205,000 tax protests this year alone.
My taxes went up through the roof.
One by one.
Do you know you're actually taxing people out of their houses?
That's not a bug. That's a system breaking under pressure. This isn't about one county or one storm. It's a ratchet mechanism. Disaster hits, taxes go up, new budget baseline, next disaster equals another 8%, then repeat. The relief, it's temporary. The pain is permanent. And in a few years, the middle class gets priced out while politicians get to say, hey, but we cut your taxes. This isn't new either. Back in the 1970s, California's Prop 13 was born out of this exact scenario. Taxes kept rising. People were getting priced out of their homes. A full-blown tax revolt erupted, and they rewrote the Constitution to cap property taxes permanently. Now, Texas isn't there yet, but this is exactly how it starts. So, what can you do? Start with this. First, check if your county has declared a disaster in the past 24 months. 2, watch your appraisal notices closely, especially if your home value seems inflated. 3, challenge anything that doesn't look right, and do it before the protest window closes. And 4, look into HB 30, a bill that will close this disaster loophole starting January 1st, 2026. Until then, counties are racing to exploit it. And by the way, if you own a $400,000 home in Harris County, your tax bill likely went up by about $160, not for flood recovery, but to plug political budget gaps. I'll drop links in the description for the laws, the exemptions, and the meeting minutes where this scam plays out in real time. Now, if you're someone who's waking up to the fact that this system isn't built for you and you want a way out, you'll want to watch this next. It's all about the final frontier, where the average person has a legitimate shot at freeing themselves from the rat race and putting themselves on the right side of this rigged system, because it is indeed rigged. But there's still a way to win it.